And Jerry Jones, as usual, is giving us plenty to talk about. In Dallas, by way of Hollywood, as Micah Parsons awaits a response to his trade request, Cowboys owner and GM Jerry Jones once again at the center of attention at the premiere of his Netflix docuseries last night. He was joined by a host of Cowboy legends, including Michael Irvin, who, along with Jerry, offered these thoughts on the situation with Micah.
I would appreciate it more if he just get the Micah Parsons deal done. That's what I told him over here. I told everybody I appreciate Jerry more if he gets Micah Parsons deal done.
Would it be a bigger risk to pay or trade Micah? You talk about risk, you know about risks as far as it is today.
Okay, so there's a lot more sound where those came from. Look at Jeff is laughing and Swagoo is crying, and so the table is set. Marcus, I'll save you for a minute. Jeff, just when you hear him say it's a risk, we talked about this morning before we came on the air. What is the risk for the Cowboys here?
Not signing Micah Parsons is the real risk. All this other nonsense, Netflix premieres, whatever Jerry's getting ready for, you better sign that man who can go chase quarterbacks and close games out. Your true risk is not having Micah Parsons week one or through the rest of the season. All this nonsense about, oh, it's all a risk, it's all this. It ain't. Not signing him is the biggest risk, Greeny, for sure.
Marcus, as you sit there, what struck me the most about that moment that we just witnessed is there's Michael Irvin saying that, and Jerry Jones is literally standing next to him. Michael is saying this with Jerry Jones within earshot, that he will appreciate Jerry a lot more if he gets that deal done. You are our beloved former Cowboy. The table is yours. What do you make of this whole situation?
It's just sickening. It's sickening, G. And listen, man, I was having a great summer. Like, I really was. Like, the summer has been phenomenal. And we got to get back in the football season without talking about the Cowboys getting ready to play and hopefully having an opportunity in the NFC. We got to talk about Micah Parsons not being – let me say that again for the American people. Micah Parsons is having a contract dispute with the Dallas Cowboys. Yes, if you said, but Swag, he the best defensive player on the team. Yeah, I know. But Swag, he like a top 5 defender in the NFL. I know, y'all. Y'all keep talking to me about it. It's because of Jerry Jones. The bigger risk, he's talking about risk. You take risk in this league every day. Every player that's under contract takes a risk. Yep. And you take a risk by signing them. That is the name of the whole damn game. You take a risk. He's earned to be paid as one of the highest defenders in the NFL. From the previous work he's done, that is when you get the paycheck. You don't know what's going to happen after that. What you're hoping and what you're banking on and trying to make an educated decision on is the fact that he's been kicking everybody's ass for the last 4 years. That's the problem. And he should be paid for it. Go ahead, G. That's all I got on that, man.
No, I mean,
risk.
I think you speak for a lot of people on all of this. And Kmart, I feel like it's deja vu all over again. Here we are a year later, we're having this conversation again.
So I understand Marcus's angst, his frustration, his irritation, but we were here a year ago. I felt like Dak should want to move on, and he should get out of there. Jerry's just playing with him, playing with his emotions and all that. And what happened? Jerry took it down to the wire, and a couple hours before kickoff in week 1, they announced that Dak is now the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. So I think because it's Jerry, I feel like this will get done. Because he's out there. He says some odd things, but he's not crazy. And Marcus just broke down why Micah Parsons is so integral to this defense and one of the best players in the league. I don't think this ends with Micah not being on this team.
So the question that we ask all the time. Go ahead, Jeffrey.
No, I just want to say this, to Kmart's point. What's interesting about the way Jerry did it last year and how he's doing it now, it just keeps getting more expensive. So all the angst about the risk of how much money I'm going to spend, it ain't going to be any cheaper than it was yesterday, Jerry. Like, you keep kicking the can down the road. Parsons just going to dig his heels even more. He gets more leverage every day you don't pay that man, because there are 31 others who would sign him to a big-time deal, and he knows it, and everybody knows it. I'll let you preach. I'll let you preach, Wagyu. Go on.
That Marcus is making the universal
Jeff.
sign for I have something else to say.
Jeff.
Go ahead, Marcus.
What about football? What about the actual game of football? What about like
We ain't
having
worried
them
about
there
that.
for practice and getting ready? But yeah, that's every year, bro.
Don't worry about it.
Year we go through the same thing, man. Like I know what they saying. I know what Jerry's saying. Well, it's Micah Parsons, and he'll be ready to play when it's time to play. Brother, it's affecting the team. It's affecting how you're preparing to get ready to play a football season with a new defensive coordinator. With a new one. Gee, did you hear what I just said? They got a new defensive coordinator,
Yes.
and the best damn player ain't practiced football yet.
Matty Berflus is the new defensive coordinator. And so the point that you're making, Marcus, is that this is going to have an impact on how they play. One of the greatest Cowboys of them all, Emmitt Smith, was also on this blue carpet last night. He famously sat out 2 regular season games during a contract dispute with Jerry in '93, got a deal done, came in, won the Super Bowl, and was the MVP. But he was making the point last night that this is already a problem, and here is why.
They had to answer these questions every day.
Right.
So they got to deal with something that had nothing to do with the game of football. Right. You see what I'm saying? It's a distraction. Like, these questions right now have nothing to do with this movie tonight.
Right.
Nothing. It's a distraction. It's what you want to talk about. It's not really why I'm here.
So, Jeff, you and I were talking about this one this morning as well. I sometimes think that football teams and football people overuse the word distraction. Tell me how this situation has an impact on the other players.
That's going to be the first question, and everybody's going to dive into it. And second of all, the exhaustion goes into if you're a defensive player, and Swagoo just spoke to it. Your best player isn't lining up and practicing with you. You don't know where he's going to fit in each of every scheme. You don't know what it's going to look like with him in versus other guys who are backing him up in. It is a massive distraction, and it's exhausting. It gets fatiguing because everybody goes, oh, don't worry, Michael will be in right here. He'll be this. But you don't know that till the contract is signed. And as these days get longer and go by, his body isn't getting ready. It's not getting prepared. So now you got soft tissue concerns. All those different things, Greeny, are fatiguing and exhausting for this football team to have to answer.
Marcus, I'm going to ask you a very direct question. If he doesn't have a contract extension in place, should Micah Parsons play this season?
No, he should not play. Because, remember, for him, it's a risk, right? Like, it's a risk for everybody. If he plays under this, and I know he's making some money in this fifth-year option and all of that type of stuff, but as opposed to making maybe $20 million more to play one season if you get a deal done. And here's the other thing, man. Like, when you think about Micah Parsons at this point, young, still playing at the top of his game, technically hasn't even hit his prime yet, right? So he has a team as well. He has a team of advisors as well that's kind of guiding and telling him what needs to be done at this point. And if I'm Micah Parsons, I'm not stepping foot on the field without a new contract. One, because I know for a fact I'm an integral part of this football team, and I know what I've done previous to getting to this point where we end up at the table for me trying to become one of the highest paid defenders in the league. And that ain't him asking. That ain't him begging. That's actually what he's put on film the first 4 years with the Dallas Cowboys and proving that he's one of the best defenders in the league.
And even in practice, I mean, Jeff, we just saw it. One of the best offensive linemen in football, Rashawn Slater in L.A., blows out his patella tendon in a practice about 2 weeks after he had gotten the big money. And so you can look at that both ways. The team, Jerry Jones might look at it and say, well, see, there's the risk that you run. But for the player, he has the security of knowing that he got his money. If I'm Micah Parsons, I don't allow that to happen to me until I get the huge signing bonus and I have all that money guaranteed.
100%. And Swag, who just said it, you're not talking about a few $100,000. You're talking about $20+ million per year or in a year that this guy is trying to secure. This is not a minor issue between Micah and Jerry. This is secure me for what I've done and what you know I'm going to do. There's, like Swagoo said it, you just said it, Greeny. There's always a risk in the game, but that player is taking the large majority of the risk. And so for Jerry, get the deal done, get your best player, get him in shape so the season starts the way you want it to start.
And let's put a ribbon on it for now here, Kmart. You talk to people around the league every single day. Is there any chatter you are hearing about the possibility that he could get traded?
Listen, all these people, teams are going to monitor. They're gonna call in. They're gonna check in. They're gonna call about other guys. And hey, Micah, at this point, nothing I've heard suggests that Jerry is insane enough to move him. But stay tuned.
Yeah, with the Cowboys, they always wanted to stay tuned. Go to those Cowboys. Earlier this morning, they were on this blue carpet last night. The Cowboys were for the premiere of a docu-series. And Jerry Jones was asked a lot of questions. And we talked a lot about Micah Parsons. But then he was asked about the Cowboys' impact on pop culture and his role in that. And his response was fascinating.
I do believe if we're not being looked at, then I'll do my part to get us looked at. The Cowboys are a soap opera, 365 days.
The screening will begin
when it gets
momentarily.
slow, I'll stir it up.
Please take your seats.
And so it's wonderful to have the great athletes, have the great players. But there's something more there. There's sizzle, there's emotion. And if you will, there's controversy. That controversy is good stuff in terms of keeping and having people's attention.
No.
Isn't that fascinating?
No, Jerry, no.
I mean, we have sat here and somewhat jokingly referred over the years to, well, Jerry's just trying to program the A block of Get Up and all that kind of stuff.
He is.
There he is telling you he actually
is
doing that, right, Kmart?
That is, put down the spoon, stop stirring stuff up, please. It's almost like the sizzle that he wants. The sizzle will come week one when you have Micah, when you have a full complement of players. This is the problem. We joke about the Cowboys always being focused on things other than winning, but their owner is literally saying to the public, yeah, man, I just want to have some sizzle.
Well,
that's what we're about.
Jerry is of an age, and Marcus, again, you played there, and your heart is still there in so many ways. Jerry is of an age that he will remember the expression, all publicity is good publicity. And, you know, in the world in which we live today, I'm not sure if that's true anymore or not. But he certainly not only believes it, but he's willing to tell it to you. I thought that was a fascinating, bordering on stunning thing for him to say last night. Marcus, what was your reaction?
Oh my goodness, man! So this is two-part, G, and it's four smart people. We understand what you need to bring to an organization and a franchise. We understand that Jerry is one of the greatest marketers in sports history when it comes to getting the Cowboys out there, the star, everybody. I played there. I understand what it means to him for this team to be at the center of attention and at the heart of what the NFL is. And he's absolutely accomplished that. My one issue is this with what he said. Why controversy? Because the controversy lends itself to what's going on with Micah Parsons. It lends itself to what was going on with CeeDee Lamb. It lends itself to what's going on with Dak Prescott. See, there's a section of people that follow the Cowboys that actually want to see them win a Super Bowl. There's a section of this fan base that is not going to be happy, regardless of how much attention the Cowboys get, as they'll trade that for hoisting the Lombardi Trophy. And I've been saying it for years, G, and you know it because I've said on your show, I've said on Countdown, and I've said it time and time again. And this is where that sentiment comes from when he says create controversy. That is why I say Jerry is not trying to win a Super Bowl. Because, and look, that is not all encompassing. There are versions of Jerry Jones that wants to win a Super Bowl, but he wants to do it in a climate that's not conducive to winning a Super Bowl. And I continue to say this, and I tell people this all the time when I have these conversations, and it's because of what he just said right there. I want to create controversy when we're not talking about the Cowboys enough. Well, that controversy is directly tied to the players that play for the team. Because I don't know any other controversy that's being stirred up over the last 3 years other than that contract, CD contract. Well, let's go back to Zeke Elliott contract, and now we hear at Micah Parsons contract. Great fodder. Everybody gets all excited about it. We're going to talk about it on every show. The problem is it affects football on the field, which I would love to see the Cowboys go into a season with an opportunity to win a Super Bowl because the business part was handled right.
Go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah, I think to Swagu's point and Kmart's point, Greeny, is if the owner is more worried about controversy than wins, what do you think the players are going to be more concerned with? Right? Now they're worried about creating controversy of their own. Somebody's going to talk about somebody, get that thing stirred up. They're going to be worried more about their money than about win. All the different things that translates, because when the actual owner of the team tells you it's more about publicity than about wins, you got the cart before the horse, man. Everybody talks about limiting distractions. You have an owner talking about creating distractions that take away from wins. You want to know why you can't get over the hump? That's a great reason why. And it's really tough to get that culture out of your building. I feel sorry for the staff who has to battle it each and every day.
It's a fascinating thing for a person to say. We have to leave it here for the moment, but we will come back and talk more about this a little later. And you think about the way the Patriots operated when they were winning. It almost felt like Bill Belichick would have been much happier if no one was even watching them play.
For sure.
Right? Like Bill would have loved to have just played and no one
counseling.
paid any attention to it. That's, that wins you all those Super Bowls. This is something else entirely.